Beautiful people. It's your boy Bob Baker. There is this inspiring thing that I want to tell you. I don't know. I'm here at the office of the Dean of Students. He goes by the name Professor Michael Nana Owusu Akomia. I don't know. There's an interesting story about him. He's so calm. There's something that he wants to tell us. I don't know.
That's it.
We anticipate it. Let's go. As I told you, I'm here with a prof. I'm coming to interview him. He's a very busy person, but today is a privilege for me. I take it as a blessing day. I call him Father, and he calls me Son. Father, good afternoon.
Welcome, son. How are you?
I'm doing good, Father.
Great.
It's a privilege having you.
Oh, nice to see you again in my office.
Thank you,
Please have
Father.
a seat.
Thank you, Father.
Wait.
Yeah, so as I told you, it's a very big privilege for me to have my father here. It's a very big man. I don't know. It is not easy to me having on my channel, but today is a grace period. I've gotten the privilege to have him here. And he goes by the name Professor Michael Nana Usu Akomia. You know, he's a father, very humble. He's a father of the students, the school, everything. I've been in GCTU for a while now. I don't know how to put it, but wherever I go, I'll see this man there. Wherever I go, and his schedules are very busy, very tight. But yes, so he makes time for the students, people, workers. I don't know. Let's go straight to him for him to tell us more about himself. Father,
Son, as you said, I'm the father to the student as the dean of students.
sure,
But I'm not the father to all.
yeah,
I mean, we have the big man sitting
sure,
up there. That is the VC himself. So it is his powers that he has given us more
it is
to
true.
be using in our office. So a small man indeed. And I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you, Father. Father, so last time I had a conversation with you that I want to inspire the world. I want to inspire people, both on campus and outside campus. I don't know who I might be inspiring now, but the question is, who is out there for you to inspire? There are so many people who are vulnerable, who are thinking maybe the situation I'm facing is it's not possible. But you have been there. You told me last time you have a wonderful story for me. So we are here now to listen, to tell the world, to project it to the world and tell them how admonishing your story is.
Wow. My story is long. We started, or I started as a humble beginner. I don't come from a poor home, neither do I come from a rich home.
So average.
Even if there's something a little below average, I would say that. But for me, when you talk about riches is about what your parents can afford. So I always tell people to be content with what they have, because if your parents can actually afford your school fees, it means they are rich enough to take care of you. I come from a village called Utumi, closer to Kedi,
Wow.
Eastern region, where I started life. If I want to start that, you go like, wow, when you got here. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we are all here some.
Sure.
That is the most important thing. I didn't envisage to be here as I'm sitting here, because when you are young, you have different dreams. You aspire to be the most famous person on
Sure.
earth, but life will tell you that you need to create a niche for yourself when you're moving into a certain direction. My greater mentor in life is my father,
Yes, Father.
who once told us that we are privileged that we can even wear sandals, because his first sandals that he wore was when he finished Form 4 and he was taken as a people teacher.
Wow.
So his first salary was what he used to buy
Wow.
sandals. And when I say sandals, it's not any proper sandals. I'm sure it's Chalewati, the one that we call Chalewati now. So that was the first time he experienced um, something on his feet and he started life. So he has been my great mentor. I have other mentors, even the vice chancellor here is my mentor. And when you go to the corporate world, there is a taxman called Dr. Ali Nachia. He has a consultancy. He has also inspired me a lot because when I wanted to be in academia, he was one person who actually pushed me so hard because he realized I was into the same taxation field. So this man will go and take a course at GIMPA, then come and give it to me to go and lecture. And he exposed me to a lot of opportunities. He taught me a lot of things. One thing I'll never forget he told me was that if you want to be a very good lecturer, the first day you enter a class, ask of the background and the names of the people you are going to teach them. It gives you a fair idea who is sitting in front of you, and that will organize your thoughts because it gives you some level of impression as to how you should go about things. Because some people sitting there actually may know more than you. So it gives you some level of humility so that you'll be able to deliver and deliver to their level.
So, Father, let me ask you, what was your dream, your aspiration? Did you wanted to be an academia? Because me personally, the last time I told you I'd wanted to be a pilot.
I get that. I remember, let me say this story. I remember when I finished GHS and my results came. My father was a teacher, not in Ghana, here in Nigeria. So he told me that, hey, young man, your grade is too low, so you'll be a carpenter.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, okay. So because of that, and coupled with some few sickness, I have to stay home for a whole year before I went to secondary school. But coming back to your question, I never really envisaged to be in academia. I think I saw it when I was in the university, where lecturers will come and teach, then colleagues or my mates will come and tell you that, hey, Akomia, take us through. And to me, I was doing something that, what we've been taught is what I'm going through again. But they go like, wow, I understand what the lecturer was teaching now with the small examples and explanations I gave them. So I started developing the passion for teaching, right?
But you didn't have a specific ambition. See, I want to be a musician. I want to be a doctor.
Not at all. I mean, like I told you, growing up, I don't want to talk about that. Growing up, you may have bits and pieces of things that you really want to do. Why did education by installment? Do you understand education by installment? Education by installment is where you do it piece. From teacher training, you go to polytechnic, you go to university. That was my experience because my father was someone who wanted you to experience almost everything. So that when you say that you have reached, it means that you passed through the thick and thin. So my passion, yes, I developed it from the university because after my first degree, because of what my colleagues were saying, I was taken as a T, and that is where it all started. Yeah.
So, Prof, I want to ask you, in this journey of life, education, and everything, have you faced any challenge or any obstacle that you thought you wouldn't have come out of it, but at the end of the day, you came out? And how did you manage to do that?
Life in itself is a struggle.
Yeah.
And I always tell people that there is nothing like this trouble I cannot come out of it. When you have a self-determination, nobody can inspire you. You need to inspire yourself.
That is very true.
When you know that these are issues that you need to deal with, especially knowing your background is important. Because I always tell people that the greater inspiration I've had biblically is a man called David. David always remembered where he was coming from. So the Bible will tell you that he used to hang his clothes that he was using as a shepherd so that he could remember that this is where I come from. So getting to where you will be, the first thing you need to know is to identify where you come from. when you know where you are coming from, even when there is obstacle. I'm trying to make things short so that you understand that it is not about what you have been through, but it is about where you want to go and where you want to be. If I know that I want to move from 0 to 10, regardless of all the things that I will meet from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I should be able to endure. So I don't like sharing my bad experiences because I believe that they were part of the reasons why I am where I am today. So I've gone through thick and thin. Even here in the university, I have gone through a lot.
Wow.
Yes, where I did my PhD without any study leave, and I wasn't doing it in Ghana. So I'll come and teach, organize the students, tell them that, hey, okay, I want you people to have enough time to learn. So instead of the 12 weeks of teaching, what I was doing is that if I have to do 3 hours with you this week, I will plead with the class, give me extra 3 hours within the week. So I was doing 2 weeks in every week.
Wow.
So within the middle of the semester, I might have done with my teaching, then I leave because my supervisor out of Ghana too never knew that I was coming back to Ghana to
Wow.
teach.
How did you manage?
I managed, let me tell one story. There was a day that I was teaching one fine Friday evening,
Okay.
evening students. I was in class, I saw my phone beeping. And when I checked, it was my supervisor. And this is not Africa I'm talking about. So the country, I don't want to remember, but it's not Africa.
Okay.
My supervisor has sent me a message. Hi, Michael. I want to see you in my office on Monday.
Wow.
And this is Friday that I'm talking about. So I quickly, at a point, I was lost in thoughts. In fact, I began to think, and it was around 7 p.m. So when I closed from class, I just picked the phone and I called my wife. I told my wife that, hey, babe, you know what? I need to go to school by Monday.
Wow.
She was confused because I've gone to work, I've come to
Sure.
school. So school where?
Sure.
I said, Charlie, my supervisor says that I should be in his office on Monday. And this is a country that if I leave on Saturday, I'll get there on Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah. So I quickly called my dad. I checked my account, there was no money. So I called my dad, say, Poppy, do you have any money to spare me? Because I need to leave Ghana by tomorrow. He said, how much do you need? I said, okay, I will need like $100. So, okay. And my father always thought that I don't have money, but when it comes critical,
Sure.
he'll get money
Sure.
for you. So
That
I
is how
learned certain
parents are.
basic things from him.
Sure.
So I quickly, instead of driving home, I drove to the village, went and picked the $1,000, came to add it to what I have. And on Saturday, I was at the airport. So I
Wow.
bought ticket like I was going to Kumasi with the Ethiopia airline. I bought tickets. I got there Sunday. On Monday, I was in my supervisor's office. And guess what he told me? The reason he was calling me. Oh, Michael, my master students, I want you to go through their work for them.
Wow.
As if I should just slap this man and return back.
Wow.
But I think when I got there, it was also good because through that, he asked me the next week that I should defend my proposal. So I took the opportunity to defend my proposal and I went back. So it was a struggle, but through it, or at least, God saw us through.
Sure.
And by the grace of God, let me tell this story. I graduated with a very nice, records. I was the first African my supervisor had supervised as a PhD
Wow.
student.
Wow.
I was the first African to write a lot of publications under my supervisor, and even the school, not the school as an entire university, when it's a school of faculty.
Sure.
Yes, and I graduated with a lot of, records, and I don't know whether those records have been broken even as of now. So
Wow.
it was a very serious experience, but thank God we were able to sail through with determination.
That means you are very focused. When you meet, if you want to meet a target, you strive so hard to reach it.
And that's what I told you, that
Yeah.
if I know my main aim is to get
Sure.
to 10,
Sure.
whatever happens between 0 and
Yeah.
9,
That is not
by
a
all means,
problem.
because my
Sure.
focus is the 10.
Sure.
So, and look, you cannot move from 0 to 10 without struggle.
Sure.
Even normal counting, if you are not careful, you skip a number.
That is true.
So you need to take your time.
Sure.
And those are the issues around. You need to deal with them. People will come. Those that will come and tell you stories, those that will bring problems, those that will create problems for
Very
even
true.
when there are no problems. Those that you need to deal with as a man and as a human being. But at the end, you just have to know that, look, my main aim is to get to 10. Until I get to 10, no rest for you. So me, I don't remember the last time I actually sang. I slept for more than 6 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not in my dictionary. It has become a habit now. Even if I sleep at 1:59 a.m., 2 o'clock a.m., 2 a.m., I'll be up. Because my system has been set to the fact that when it's 2 a.m., I don't sleep with alarm. But when
Wow.
it's 2 a.m., I'll wake up and
Wow.
I'll check my time. It's exactly
That
2 o'clock.
means you've psyched your mind. You psyched your mind that exactly this time you are getting out.
I think it's the body works that has
Yeah,
gotten to that level
that is true.
because I have worked the body with that
Sure.
even till now. So even when I have nothing doing, the system is such that something will just prompt you, hey, it's 2 a.m. And you check your time exactly 2 a.m. So my wife used to call me a witch because she says that I was, you know, flying around
Sure,
that time
sure,
2 a.m.
sure,
because
sure,
she wake up and I'm
sure,
still awake
sure,
and all that. So that is what I'm telling you.
sure,
One, I want to get to 10. Uh, as to how I'll get there,
sure,
that is the main
sure,
thing that I need
sure.
to focus
Thank you,
on.
Prof. So I want to ask this question. If you could go back in time, what would you tell your young self? What would you do?
To my young self,
Yeah,
oh, in fact, every experience I've been through from the past, I feel it was good,
yeah.
whether bad or good,
It was
because
preparing you.
yes, it was actually those things that have been able to build me to
Sure,
this level.
sure,
So I always tell people I don't regret so many things at my past
sure,
because if I had died then, that would have been the
sure,
issue. But once I was able to sail through, it means God was telling me something. So whatever had happened to me in the past, I give thanks to God and I thank God for making me survive and I'm seeing the glory as of today. Yeah. I
that,
remember you were asking me about my passion.
yeah,
What drives my passion
yeah,
and okay, so sitting here, being the dean of students, it's not by profession, it's by appointment. Let
sure,
me correct that.
okay,
So as a senior lecturer, as a PhD holder, when appointments are due for offices, either you'll be recommended or the VC will see you, spot you, and identify
yeah,
if if you are given this
sure.
opportunity to be able to do it. And by the grace of God, this is my second term.
Wow,
I have sat in this office for more than 4 years,
wow,
and I've been enjoying what I'm doing so far
wow,
because the comments I have received from people, of course, they are all not positive,
sure,
but even the negative ones, I love them
sure,
because I like feedback.
sure,
When you get feedback, it makes you work better. And I'm not always looking for positive feedback. In fact, if you are one person who even comes to me always praising me, I'll feel you don't like me because you don't want me to
sure,
progress. I want those that will tell you that, oh, okay, Charlie, you did this, it was bad. And so I'll sit back, put all those into my
sure,
basket, save them, then I'll try to correct
yeah,
them. And that is what has brought me
sure.
this far. You see me laughing every day with students, smiling every day, as if
That is
I
it.
don't have
Sure,
problems.
sure.
My best friends in this school are the students and the security and the cleaners.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
see that.
Because I love them. I
Yeah,
always tell
yeah,
myself I've once been like them. I see myself still as a student because I still learn.
sure,
So whatever thing that I have gone through in life, I feel I have a responsibility
yeah,
to share.
sure,
And that is why I get students
sure,
closer to me. Though that gives me a lot of problems, especially when there are female students coming close to you. You know this in our society, male and female issues.
yeah,
When they see constant students, female students
yeah,
coming to you,
yeah,
they will either tag you, but
yeah,
that will not stop me
sure,
from doing what
sure,
I'm supposed, especially when I know within my heart
sure,
that my intentions
sure.
are pure
Very
and
clean.
it doesn't really
Sure,
bother me. So I get those feedback from students and they always want to come and tell me their problems and I love to listen. After listening, at least I'll get something to take home for
sure,
myself
sure.
and I'll get something to
That's
tell
very
those
true.
who come to
That's
me.
very true. So that comes to the question that the relationship and you dealing with students and other people in the school, is it stressful?
Excessively stressful.
Because sometimes as you come to the office 3 times in a day or 4 times
Mm,
in a day, and your secretary will tell me, Prof is not around.
yeah.
Prof is not.
Mm,
I do think, how do this man do this?
yeah.
How do you combine all this stuff with education, students,
Students
and other stuff,
and
family
family.
life?
Yeah,
You know,
I have
how
family too.
how do you combine this?
Well, the mind is such that when you tune it to a point where you know this is what you are supposed to do, you
Sure,
do it. And with my position, almost every meeting within the university, with the exception of management
sure,
meeting, even business executive meeting, I am there. When it comes to students, graduation,
sure,
I have to be there. Because the dean of students is supposed to have experience in everything.
sure.
So
Even
every
I do
meeting,
meet you at SLC meetings.
thank you. Every meeting you find me there.
Sure,
And even meetings that I feel that okay, I'm just in attendance. I love to be there because I'll get something out of that.
sure.
So I have officers by the grace of God who are also supporting.
Oh,
When I come to the office in the morning, they tell me my schedules for the day,
sure.
coupled with the fact that I still lecture because my main job is a lecturer.
Yeah.
Then the deanship is additional responsibilities. So I teach lesser hours though as compared to normal lectures
I've
because
met you lecturing, I
you,
think after lectures at the business campus.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
So I do all that with proper timing
yeah.
and proper time management,
Wow,
and I try my best
wow.
to be not to be the best, but um I don't know if I should say the best or I try my possible best to be the
You
best.
are doing what you can, Prof. Yeah, sure. So this comes to the question: you being an academia, what are your long-term goals? You know, your dreams. To is it to fill the upper position, or you
You
still
you you
enjoy
you
this?
want me to die young, my son.
That is true.
Because
That is
if you share this in this interview and people get, oh, this is where you want to,
yeah,
hey, you know in this Africa,
yes. I
so
know.
of course it's every man's dream to get to the apex
Sure,
of wherever you
sure,
find yourself.
sure.
But I always believe in God.
Yeah,
When God says yes,
sure.
nobody can say
That
no.
is true.
If it is my time to get to the highest
Sure,
level, I believe I'll get
sure,
there.
sure,
But that is not my main focus. My main focus is to do my best
sure,
because I believe your works should rather sell more than
sure,
what you think you can
sure,
rather get.
sure.
So I have just opened my mind, doing what I can do best and learning everything I can learn so that if by the grace of God one day I should get to the apex of what
Sure,
you deserve in
sure,
academia,
sure.
I will be able to excel.
Uh,
So with that, I will be very
you are tactical.
about it
Sure.
because
Yeah.
I don't want to die young.
It's very
I'm
scary.
very young.
I understand. I understand, bro. So, what advice would you give a student who is aspiring, well, you being a mentor,
Mm.
our father who is aspiring to be here someday? What advice would you give that student?
And let me say this in camera.
Okay,
Do your best. Try your best. Be more focused. Be more determined. And whatever you dream to be, God will surely let you be there. For me, getting the best out of life is not by magic. It's not by chance. It's about how you arrange things. There are people who get things by chance. Praise to God because God can do everything. But it doesn't really happen often. Gone are the days where manna do fall from
sure,
heaven. Now you need to go and look for that manna. Even those days that manna was falling, you have to wake up and go
sure,
and pick them
sure,
because there was a certain work there.
sure,
So if you want to get to where you want to be more determined, be more focused, be self-disciplined. You need to deny yourself a lot of pleasure now so that you'll be able to get what you want in the future.
sure,
Because what is ahead of you is way bigger than what you're enjoying now.
sure,
I always tell my children that, or my students that, if you're a womanizer, what you are doing now, you are not doing any better thing.
sure,
When you're able to be more successful, the women will rather run to you.
That is what I've been hearing. That is
Yes.
what my dad
Oh,
told me.
yes. And you now do the selection. You tend to, okay, now you have to do CCC to be able to pick
It
the
is
best
true.
woman out of
It is
those.
true.
But now, because you are struggling, you go and talk plenty. But when you are more successful, I believe that um, they will come. Not that they will come because they are cheap. They will come because they also want to be attached to success.
Sure.
And you will get the best out of the one that you select.
Sure.
So that is what I would tell my children and my students. Be more focused, be more determined, be dedicated to your academic work. If you have any extra thing you think you are doing that will brighten up your future, do it with your all, push in your energy, and I believe God will not forget to take you far.
Thank you, Daddy. Daddy, another question is, how do you stay current all the time? How do you manage to stay current all the time? Because education system is all about trends, current, and a
Okay.
whole lot of stuff. So how do
So
you do
if
that?
the camera can capture some of the
Sure,
newspapers, then
sure,
you get to know that when I come, the first thing I do
sure,
is that I get the updated or
sure,
the paper I read
sure,
is this. That is Daily Graphic.
sure. Sometimes I do see some of your
Yes, with
products.
Daily Graphic, you get bits and pieces of
Sure,
every news.
sure.
So I have dedicated time. That's what I told you that it's about time management.
Yeah,
When I come, just after entering the office, I pray, I sit down, then I look for my newspaper, read. So I come to work very early.
yeah.
By 7:30 I am here.
Wow.
So by the time everybody, if you ask the cleaners, I'm the mostly, if I'm not the first, I'll be one of the first people who come to office because I feel I have a lot. So I stay current because I read a lot.
Yeah,
And hey, if you don't read, you'll not be able to find information.
that is true.
So reading is my habit. If there's something called a call, reading is a calling, and I am within that calling because I read a lot.
So, Daddy, another thing is, how do you measure success and what achievement are you most proud of? How would
Hmm.
you? Yeah,
I feel that there is no measure to success. Anybody who can measure success is someone who thinks he has arrived. But there is no one who has arrived yet.
yeah,
Because even if you have a whole lot of money up to the fullest of this room,
yeah.
if you don't work and add up, you will spend it and it will finish.
Very true.
You get it? So for measuring of success, I don't measure success with what I have, but I pride myself with where I have gotten to. I I tried my best to stay in academia by doing what is right in academia because I understood what levels they are in academia. Because by the grace of God, my father is an academician. And my first mentor that I picked, aside my father, Dr. Ali Nachia, is also an
Wow.
academician who told me a lot about academia. So I am happy with the fact that by the grace of God, I'm an associate professor now. And it did not come easy. People think that, oh, when you are close to big people, you can get
Connection.
promoted. Look, my son, if you Google my name now, you will not find less than 36 to 40 papers written by me on
Wow.
Google Scholar.
Wow.
And they are not just papers, they are papers that are cited in top journals.
Wow.
So aside all the things you know I do, I sit and write as well. Because in academia, we have something, it's either you publish or you perish. If you want to move to the higher ladder, you need to do a lot of
Sure.
publications.
Sure.
And that is what I do. So I am proud of who I am now. I won't mention one thing because as for me and books, I love books. I
Bookmania.
love to, I am a bookworm.
Yeah.
Because my father used to tell us that, look, I forgot to say this. My father told us something that, hey, you people, how many are you? You are six. That we are six.
Okay.
I'm the last but one.
Wow.
So my father will tell you, granted that I have a big cocoa farm, if I should die now, all these children, all these my children that you think because I'm alive, we are together, everybody will begin to have a share of that cocoa farm. And with that, envy will start
Sure.
setting in. you may begin to kill yourself, you may begin to backbite yourself. So he never advised of any physical property that he's leaving us. My brother will tell you, this house that I've built, it is for me and my wife. You too, go and work and build your
I
own.
remember last time my dad told me that it
Yes.
was just a champagne.
Yes.
I'd wanted to pop the champagne. My dad told me, you know what, wait, when you get to the app,
So he says that the only property that he can give you that nobody can fight you over is knowledge, your head. I never understood because I was young then. It was when I grew up that I was having my education and I started picking some few successes in education. That was when reality began to dawn on me. Because now, look, if I die, I go with my head. Where am I leaving my head? Nobody. And I will eat with this head forever till I die.
That is what my grandpa told. He said, if you want the ritual in this world, go to school. I don't know. I never, I was contemplating. What
You
is
never
this man
understand.
telling me? But me coming to GCTU, I told you last time I had admission, but I didn't come. But coming here and the exposure that I'm getting and the knowledge that I'm acquiring, that took me back to what my grandfather told me, that if you want sakawa, he used to say sakawa, choose school. That is the best.
Yeah, that is the best sakawa, because that can feed you for the rest of your life. Even when you think that you have no money, some consultancy will come. I sit here sometimes, I cry and I say, hey, today there I'm broke. By the time you realize your phone is ringing, then somebody will push a document for you. Charlie, can you go through this document for me? I do consult for tax as well.
Okay.
Can you go through? By the time you realize, Charlie, you are getting some cool 10K view. Cool 10K, then you chuck it somewhere.
Bro, my street boys, 10K is $1 million.
Oh, on the 10K, I will not boast to my, but now if you dash me 10K, I may not say thank you.
Really?
Oh, honestly.
Wow.
I may not say thank you because it's not because I have. Because I aspire to have more than that. Because I know I am worth more than 10K. So when a student come and say that, say, this is an envelope, especially when I know that envelope is for me to do something for you. If I open it up and it's not up to, let's say, $1 million, I won't do it. Why? Because that your small money, Charlie. Assuming I'm sacked now, can that your 10K feed me forever? No. In fact, that cannot even feed me up to 1 month. Because my house expenses alone, I live in my own house by the grace of God. My house expenses alone is not a joke. With my children and all that I pay fees, family, you get it. So if you are bribing me, please, this is to all of you. If you are bribing me, bribe me proper. At least $1 million. That one, they will even go to VC and say, VC, sack me. I have done this. Because I know that I can spend the $1 million for quite some time and I can invest. Other than that, nothing pushes me. So I'm not saying 10K is small, but it is small when you have higher ambition. It is small when you don't look at today. It is small when you know that you have a lot of commitment around you and you owe a lot to people who have supported you. I treat people well not because I love people too much, but it's because I know I have been there before. So when, the first day you came, I told you that I have taken you as a son, I've adopted, call me father. Because I want that kind of relationship from people where everybody will see me as a father figure, where everybody will one day get up and say that had it not been for Usa Kumia, I wouldn't have done that. That is the only payment that when I get so satisfied. But for monetary, yes, it won't be bad that one day I'll be in my house, lying in my lazy chair. Then you come and say, Daddy, I've missed you, Paul. This and this. That was when I'm on pension. And with that, I can buy one whiskey for myself, pour some champagne.
It is true. It will happen. It will happen. It will happen. So, Prof, I want to ask. We are in a tech community. Ghana Telecom is full about tech. So, I want to ask, what is the dream? Because last time I think 2 days ago, I did a review on the school and other stuff, and there's also. So when I was posting, I posted the future Harvard, and I captioned it.
You are not wrong at all.
So how do you see things? Per my vision, I see here to be future Harvard.
In fact, our VC, Professor Emmanuel Hinafakwa, will say that this is the Silicon Valley of Africa.
Sure.
And that is our mandate. We've been given the mandate to train students, especially in IT field.
Sure.
That was the only mandate. If I should give you our act right now, that is the mandate that the president of Ghana gave us. Train people in ICT. So even when you go to our business school, all those business students, there is a touch of ICT in it. So you are not wrong to say, in fact, Harvard is even an understatement. I was thinking we say MIT because that is the raw
Sure.
technology
Sure.
field. And
Sure.
this is the MIT
Sure.
of Africa.
Sure.
And this is not a joke. I mean, I'm being serious because if you look at the vision of the VC as well and the things that he want to put in place, by the time he spend all his time and leave, the one that will come and succeed him may not struggle because he has the structures in fact, he's a very vicious person who see far. In a layman point of view, I would say that he's a Pharisee, he see far.
Sure.
Somebody who
Sure.
see far is called
Sure.
Pharisee.
Sure.
So, I mean, on a lighter note, so this is an institution where we are here to train people within the ICT, and now everything is about tech. If you are not careful, the human power will go soon.
Sure.
AI is
Sure.
gradually taking over. But I was teaching someone and I said, okay, people say AI is coming to take over. Who trained the AI?
It is
Or who
human.
built the?
Yeah.
So at what point can AI take your job? Unless you have decided not to follow the new trend.
It is true.
Once you also follow the new trend, that is the technology, AI can never take your position because you built that AI and you can do something that the AI cannot do.
Very true.
Okay.
Very true. So what should we expect? The students, how things are moving. GCTU is still growing.
Yeah.
It's still growing. Last 3 years when I was here, things weren't this way, and it has moved to a point. So what should we expect as a student?
Okay, so let me speak as a dean of students. Your expectations as students, in fact, you should expect bigger things because there are bigger things that are coming. Like I said, I will never talk without mentioning the VC, Professor Emmanuel Hinafakwa, because we are all buying into his vision. The dream is big. Students should expect bigger things in the form of bigger labs, IT lab, bigger things. I mean, anything that got to do with building your knowledge in ICT. And that is the focus now. But we cannot have it all. We start from somewhere and we end somewhere. I went to a university. In fact, I told you that I did education by installment. I went to a polytechnic where the whole polytechnic, there was only one building. And that building, we used to call it self-contained because administration was on top, classroom was down.
Wow.
And now, if you go there, let me mention the name Kofodia Polytechnic, now Kofodia Technical University. Now, I went there recently and I was like, whoa, is it where I was years back? I was shocked. But we thought that, so we suffered for the current students to gain. And that is what I will tell our students now. You may not have it all, but you'll come back and you'll be proud of your alma mater one day. So be focused. Keep with the little ones that we have now, and make sure you make good use of the little facilities that you have, so that when you come back in the next few years, you'll be part of the institution and you'll be proud of where you were.
So, Prof, last but not the least, last time I was discussing with you, as in this school being the hub of visionary people, dreamers, people who invent things. So, you being the dean of students, the father of students, I'm still pushing it that how best can you help us to get that facility for us to bring our dreams, our visions on board so that you being our father and we having other lecturers on board, they can help us initiate our dream and make it come true.
Wow, that's a very big one. I've told you the other day that I'm going to table this in front of the VC where we will have a hub called Knowledge Hub. The Knowledge Hub will put facilities there, but the human minds are those that we are going to keep there as a hub. And that will be a hub where we will have students who have ideas. Just come, tell those people there your ideas. Let's see what the school can also do to support your idea. That's what I call knowledge hub. So the hub may be just a hub room with one or two people there, technical minds, where you go and you share your idea. We put it on paper, see how best we can support you, push that agenda, and when you're able to come out with that, we will own you as part of our property because it's an intellectual property. So with that, it is on my desk. Someone will say giddy 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 giddy. I will be discussing this with the VC very soon, and I know he would just buy into it because he loves new ideas. He loves
And
innovation.
I'll be proud to be the initiator.
Don't worry, Arthur. In fact, should I give you position now?
No,
I'll
no, no,
give
no,
you
no.
position on that. So you will be part and you should be part of that
Sure.
idea. And I'm happy you want to be the initiator, which I will use you to initiate that.
Thank you.
So we will start. I'll put some few proposals together. I'll get it for you to go through. Then I'll go and table it because I can't just go to VC to tell him.
Very true.
I need to have something
Very true.
documented. Then he can also table it for management or council to approve. Then we are good to go. So expect that within the shortest possible space.
Thank you, Prof.
And I know we have students who are building a lot of things.
Sure.
Like you, I have people coming here with great ideas, and I try to put them together. So with this, I inform VC, and VC, we first form the Professor Fuakwe's coding club. You know, there's a coding club where we bring students together who know how to do coding. We had another one. There's a guy called Joseph Kofi. Joseph Ekpa Kofi. He is the man behind To Do app. If you've heard of To Do app, he's our student. He did engineering here.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's also a son. You know, I picked him as a son when I realized that he has a lot of ideas. That guy is full of ideas. He was able to develop this app, and the app is doing so well.
I think there is a guy even on campus that I met recently. He created an app, you know, that is called Trends Hub.
Yes. Yeah, he came here and he discussed with me. So we have a lot of students with great ideas and all that. So those are the things that I want to bring together within that knowledge hub where we can have students who don't have those ideas to come and tap into. Then we can share some of it to train them.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So, Prof, before we leave, I would like you to give your last note or anything you want to share to the people. You know, this is going all over the world. I want this information to touch people, to uplift dreams. Whoever person who is out there thinking it is over, your message can uplift the person and reinstall the person to come back very harder and stronger.
Okay, what I can say is that it is only over when you think it is over.
Very true.
Because you are the architect of your own dreams. Nobody can live your dream for you. You can only live your dream for yourself. So I used to have this phrase where I say that you have to aspire to inspire before you aspire. So once you aspire to inspire, it means that you have something ahead of you. The only time you aspire is when you are dead.
Very true.
So until you die, you need to live to make a change. Be that change. Be that person that people will look up to you and say that, had it not been you, I nearly took poison. Had it not been you, I nearly hanged myself. I thought it was a dead end for me. But because of you, I have a renewed mind. I did not start so well, but by the grace of God, with determination, we are still making it and we are still where we are. So have that strong conviction that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Those of you who doesn't believe in Christ, to believe in yourself, because we have atheists who believe in themselves and they are still making it. So when you believe in yourself and you have the Christ factor in addition, you will get there. Life is short. Live it to the fullest and make that change in your society, and that change begins from you.
Thank you, Prof. It is an honor to have you. You know,
Same here.
I'm really blessed, touched. You know, I'm filled. You know, I'm growing, and it is a privilege to have such people like you to we fuel our life to create that stepping stone for us to reach to that standard. And I would like to say I appreciate you, Father. Thank
You're
you,
so
Father.
welcome.
Thank
You're
you,
so
Father.
welcome. And
Thank
I'm
you.
happy to have you
Thank you,
here.
Father.
Continue to do the good works.
Thank you, Father.
And I know with your determination, one day you'll come back to me and tell me that Dad, you told me. You will get to places.
Thank you,
You have
Father.
a lot of potentials
Thank
in
you,
you.
Father.
You can go to places where your parents couldn't go.
Sure.
And that is always what should be your dream. God will take you far.
Amen, Father. Thank you,
God
Father.
bless you.
Thank you, Father.